when I'm talking to these kids, man, they do get caught up in that. And it's easy to get caught up in the lights too. Look, when I took my visit to Ohio State, still one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was, and I couldn't even bring myself to it. So I actually never picked up the phone. But when I decided that I was going to sign to Clemson, Tressel called me like 9 times. And I remember going into the Woody Hayes Center, and I'm walking in with Eddie George, and Terrell Pryor's there, and Beanie's floating around somewhere, and Michael Brewster was there, and they got all the trophies laid out, and they got these little those Buckeyes. Oh my gosh, bro, with the peanut butter inside, still fantastic. And the best, and some people have heard the story, most people haven't, but it was so hard for me not to play for Ohio State, not to play for Jim Tressel, because of the culture that was already developed, And he was like, Tajh, he sat down in the living room, and Jim was like, Tajh, you know how big Ohio State's alumni base is? He was like, how big? He was like, Tajh, I went to Paris, okay? He's like, I went to the Eiffel Tower, got all the way to the top, and I yelled out OH. He was like, from the ground, in about 6 seconds, I heard IL. He was like, Tajh, we're everywhere. And I was like, my God, how can I not come here,
Yep.
And with a guy like that, though, and his enthusiasm, his optimism, obviously the love that he had for you guys, what are some of the things that he taught you about life, about being a man, about growing? Because I know he had that effect on you, and I just want to be able to take something from him to apply to other people's lives as well, the same way Coach Sweeney does for me.
Yeah, I mean, he had this thing, he called it his Blocko of life, and at the top of it would be spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
On one end, it would be, on one end of the Blocko, it would be academics. The other one would be family, and at the way bottom was football.
Yeah.
And there are some others. There's charity and there's friendships, but the idea was your freshman year, you had to write out goals, and it wasn't just like you couldn't be lazy with it either, because you knew you were going to meet with him again junior year and
right.
go over these. So it'd be, hey, what are 3 goals you want to accomplish in your spiritual life? Short term, long term, football, short term, long term, all these things. And you're like, when you're 18 years old and you're on campus, you're like, all right, man, like, what do you mean long-term spiritual goals or long-term, charity goals or what? And so, but he made you think it out, because you knew it was like, all right, the teacher is going to review these with you in a couple of years. So he wanted to make you think about things when it came to goal setting, when it came to your life, stuff that really mattered. That's why he would make us in camp do quiet time every morning, which was just the first 5 minutes of a team meeting, training camp. You're going through the motions and you're tired and you're sore, you're just same routine. First 5 minutes, he'd pick a topic in his binder of stuff that he gave to everybody, and it could be attitude. And you sit there for 5 minutes dead quiet, but you knew at the end of it, he was going to call on about 5 to 10 guys. Give me a quote. Like, what quote you like? What struck with you? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then he made you write in every day in your little same binder 3 things you were grateful or thankful for. And it was just a conscious effort to make us understand how grateful we should be to be playing at Ohio State, for not only the people in the military that have obviously made it available to us, for people that have come before us at Ohio State, that we are basically playing at a place that was built upon their backs. Like, it was just this constant thankfulness for what we get to do. And it was awesome, and it helped you grow. You didn't have a choice. And that's why so many guys, still keep up with him. He has an uncanny ability to remember everybody's name in your family.
Wow.
And he never gives up on anybody. You know what I mean? That's the one thing about Jim, is that he will never give up on a former player. And I think he's doing great things up at Youngstown State as president as well.
Yeah. Huge coaching history from Youngstown as well.
Yeah.
All right, so finished up. Again, I mean, I'm over here skipping past this like it's not a huge deal, like you weren't that guy, but you did some amazing things, obviously, at Ohio State. Again, 3-time All-American consensus, first 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, those are huge accomplishments, but you get drafted to the Rams. All right, and when you sat down, you were sitting with your family, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah.
And that TV was there. You get that phone call. What was that emotion like?
Oh man, it's overwhelming, because it's something that you have as a dream as a kid, but you're not really sure if it's attainable, right? And just the idea of like I'm going to go to a NFL city and have an opportunity to play NFL football, like it's crazy, right? It still kind of blows my mind that I got to play in the NFL.
Right.
It's a surreal experience, and on one hand you're like, gosh, a lot of hard work to get you here, but on the other hand you're like, how the heck did I get here? So it's a dual feeling.
That's awesome, man. And what was, when you stepped out there and you got into that locker room for the first time, did you have those same emotions as the first time you walked to Ohio State, or was it different because of where you were drafted at and, the expectations that they had for you coming into it?
Yeah, it was the same. When I went there, it was I knew I was going to be competing with like a 12-year vet at Mike linebacker, but I knew also why they drafted me. And oddly enough, just like in college, how I had someone get hurt in the first game, and that took me from third string to second string, and from a red shirt to not redshirting, right? And the second, I think it was the second preseason game at Cincinnati, our Mike linebacker had a kind of an asthma reaction.
Right.
So I get thrust into the starting lineup. I was a backup and had been rotating through series, and I just get to play the whole preseason game. And I basically took over the starting position from there. Really random kind of events that gave me an opportunity that you prepare for it. So once it's there, you got to capitalize. But still some moments where you're just like, wow, how did that even occur? And then you're just trying to, again, it's just playing football, man. You're trying to make plays. You're trying not to be the reason that anything is struggling on defense. And St. Louis is in a bad spot at that time. I think they just got through a stretch of 15 to 65, and you were hoping that you were going to be one of the foundational pieces to turn it around, which we never did get turned around, but you wanted to be a reason why, a sense of pride for the fans, and really wanted to be a positive. And I think when you're playing pro ball, and a lot of people ask, how do you keep playing through those seasons? Like, man, if you love football, it's easy because they're giving you a nice check to do it, and if you love it, there's no motivation needed.
Yeah,